Da da buddy buddy. Buddy 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 buddy. La-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. For those of you joining us later, this is another one of our semi-regularly unscheduled live streams. This will be the second one in 2 weeks, so I feel like I'm doing a lot better. Obviously, though, it is still semi-regularly unscheduled, and so no one knows for sure that we're here. So we do have to wait a few minutes for people to show up. One person's here. So while we're waiting for people to show up, let me get this lit. A bug just dive bombed me in the head. Shalom, Landon. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. I hope you had a good Sabbath. I'm hoping Les will show up, or maybe even Sharon, because we need a moderator. I don't know if y'all can hear all them kids in the background. We had birthday parties today. We always have birthday parties. But August is a particularly, oh, man, have I got some rage bait for you men tonight. Y'all may have seen this. I don't know if you have seen this or not. This is, wow. Wow. This is enraging. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Here it is. How about this noise? Where'd it go? I'm not even sure if I can read this. I certainly can't read it before the kids get all the way in bed. We're here to destroy the white race. Democratic Socialist of America hero declares war on West. I am sorry, this is not a war on the West. This is a threat of genocide. These people are supposed to genocide. Dear God, dear Lord, this is Hassan Parker, people. Piker? What is his last name? I can't read him. It's probably Piker. It's probably not Parker. I was also just reading a story about the new Spider-Man movie. Oh, yeah, Hassan Piker. This guy's appeared with all the heavy hitters in the Democrat Party. Bernie Sanders, all of them. They've all been making pilgrimages to this guy because they decided he was their Joe Rogan. Which, again, Joe Rogan is their Joe Rogan. All they have to do is go talk to him. But they've decided that this was going to be their Joe Rogan. So they've been making pilgrimages to this jackass for years now, since at least 2024, before 2024, because they thought, oh, this is our answer. This is how we're going to win young men back. Well, let's see how they're going to win young working class white men back, shall we? I feel like I should save this. We've only got 7 people in here right now. Like this is one of the most insane things I have seen in a very long time. Can anyone tell me, is the sound okay? I'm using the laptop again, and I'm still not sure how well this works. Someone just give me your George's answers to Joe Rogan. Thank you, Dean. Oh, Dean, you asked an excellent question on that Acts video, and I think that's what we will spend most of our time talking about, a lot of our time talking about tonight. As soon as we get done with this Hassan Piker lunacy, we'll talk about your observation about the axes on. Pretty sure that was you. Wasn't that you? You left a comment on that axe video this weekend. Okay, let's deal with this insane asshat for just a few minutes. I'm not even sure I can read the story, but let's try. Okay, in case you don't know, but I'm sure most of you know, Hassan Piker is. I can't believe I even have to say this. He is this insane. I don't even know what Jenny is. I don't think he's millennial. I think he's younger than that. Insane young guy. He's related to Cenk Uyghur from over at the Young Turks. And that's a harsh light. It is not showing me. My skin glows much better in a different light. That's something Hassan Piker would say. Hey, 10 Tigers. And he streams on Twitch. Okay, look, I'm streaming right now, so I'm not making fun of that part of it. But he streams for hours and hours at a time. I have never listened to any of this guy's stuff that has not actually been featured in the news for something stupid he said. He said a lot of stupid things. I cannot believe of all the stupid things he said. I've never heard this one. But this is the guy who said that America deserved 9/11, among other things. But every Democrat in America has been just falling all over themselves to try to get this guy's endorsement. He was a major player in this Michigan race that Abdul al-Sayed just won. He was involved with Graham Plantner up in Maine. He's involved with the DSA, the Democrat Socialists. He's a young guy. He has a huge audience, apparently. This is just a very important figure on the left of all places. And look at what this moron said. Marxist streamer Hassan Piker has emerged as an increasingly visible, if unofficial, spokesman for the Democrat Socialists of America's rapidly expanding political action network. Now, the Democrat Socialists of America, this is Bernie Sanders, this is AOC, this is Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all these people. Although I'm not sure if Rashida Tlaib's officially DSA or not, but Bernie and AOC definitely are. I'm 90% sure that Ilhan Omar is. This is just a straight up communist party. From an electoral risk perspective, Piker is becoming a liability for Democrats. You think? His far-left anti-American rhetoric provides Republicans with what we called a gift last week. A gift. Even Hillary Clinton warned on Friday that the GOP's anti-communist messaging is very effective. This guy just made it very effective. The Democrat Party's failure to denounce Piker and distance itself from his agenda. Look at this guy. He just looks like an idiot. What a pretentious little shithead. Dressed like Mao. That's what he's trying to channel here is Chairman Mao. How stupid do you have to? Mao was one of the dumbest. I do not know how some of these people become world leaders. Here I sit in a double-wide trailer. You can hear the crickets in the background. And I'm starting to feel like maybe the universe isn't a just place because Chairman Mao ruled a nation, but so stupid that he refused to brush his teeth. He wouldn't treat his venereal diseases. And he killed 100 million people with some of the most insane policies in the history of the world. His Cultural Revolution is probably the greatest humanitarian disaster in the history of the world, not even done through malice, done through sheer incompetence. Just he was that stupid that he perpetrated one of the greatest humanitarian disasters in the history of everything on accident. And this guy is trying to channel this moron. Look, Piker calls on his followers to kill capitalists. By capitalists, he means you. We're about to see specifically who he means. Here's his quote. Yeah, kill them. Kill those MFers and murder those MFers in the street. Let the streets soak in their effing red capitalist blood, dude. And the Democrats are campaigning with this guy. He's raising money for them. He's going to their events. This isn't just like the crazy guy in the background where they, every once in a while, they try to get him to say something nice without having to. They are actively like knob slobbing this guy. I don't know how else to say it. Sorry. This is the Revolting Man channel. I guess I can make a few inappropriate sexual innuendos. Nothing. That's certainly not as bad as what Hassan Piker here is saying. So yes, kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. In America, like it wasn't that long ago that this guy would have been arrested for that statement, and should. Okay, it doesn't matter who he's talking about. If this was Billy Graham talking about atheists, Billy Graham should be arrested if he says things like this: kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red blood. If Billy Graham said that, I would call for Billy Graham to go to jail. If that's not inciting, I mean, that is inciting violence. I mean, it just is. That is just inciting violence. And he's speaking to people, socialists and communists, with a history of killing people and soaking the streets in their blood. This is something they do on a semi-regular basis. It's their thing. It's kind of baked into their DNA. But we're not done yet. Here's the big one. Here's what he said now that I think, I mean, this guy should be in jail. I mean, he has to be deported after. I don't even know if he may be birthright. If this guy is birthright citizen, here is exhibit numero alpha for why we have to get rid of birthright citizenship. We want more immigrants to come into your countries, and then they're going to, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the words here, men. If you got children nearby, cover their ears. But yeah, you got to hear what's being said. We want more immigrants to come into your country. And it's not like I don't use this word myself. We want more immigrants to come into your countries, and then they're going to fuck your sisters and then your daughters. We're here to destroy the white race, bitch. Okay. That is a call for a sexually violent genocide. Okay. There is no way, like the people who are hearing Hassan Piker call for this don't think that they're being encouraged to rape women in order to commit a genocide on the so-called white race. Now, look, I don't even believe in race, right? I believe in haplogroups or whatever, family groups, call it whatever you want. I believe in nationalities, but I don't believe in like the white race and the black race and the Chinese race. Any group of animals that can interbreed without problems and always reproduce itself, that is a species. We are a species. We have some differentiation within our species. I don't believe in the white race, even though in this light I am very, very white. In any light, I'm very, very white. Trust me. In the middle of the blackest night, I'm very white. So I don't even identify with a white race. I identify as an Anglo-Saxon. I think the first mistake we ever made was letting the Irish in. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I love the Irish. I'm hoping my Irish buddy is watching. If he is, that was an absolute joke. But the Italians probably weren't. No, I'm kidding. But if we go too much farther, I'll get somewhere. No, I am a Christian nationalist, but that is the extent of my lunacy. This guy is calling for a rape-fueled genocide of a race, a so-called race of people. And this guy is not just like present in the Democrat Party. Remember, the party of believe all women, the party of Me Too, the party that supposedly hates genocide. He's one of their heroes. He's one of their most important figures right now. Calling for a violent rape-fueled subjugation of a race of people. There is no there is no logically consistent way for liberals and the Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party is anything but democratic. Holy shit! Uh, to morally or logically consistently allow this man to have a voice in anywhere in polite society. You certainly can't you can't decry sexual. Look, this is the party of Graham Plattner, right? I mean, this is the party of Harvey Weinstein. The Democrats are the party of Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, they have a problem when it comes to sexual violence. They like it. Uh, they like it a lot. We could go on and on and on. They have a shocking amount of like rich Democrats who have a thing for killing meth addicted homeless men. It's like shocking. It's happened at least twice in the last 10 years or something in California, where they've had some liberal ass Democrat billionaire who had a thing for picking up homeless guys and overdosing them on meth, and then having sex with them while they're overdosed on meth. And twice they've killed them. I'm still convinced that that's what was going on with Paul Pelosi. Won't be able to talk me out of that. The whole hammer attack thing. I mean, this is a party of perverts, sexual deviants, and very angry. But they're supposed to be hiding it, right? They're supposed to be pretending like they're all a bunch of Paul Rudds and Mark Ruffalo's and women are people. Obviously, women are. You know what I'm trying to say. But this is their guy. This is their guy. I guess he's up here to you. To me, he's right here. This is their guy. Sorry, I'm completely disconnected from the chat right now. These people. I'm sorry. Now, obviously, Hassan Piker is your enemy, right? Just straight up. And you know what, Hassan, I appreciate your honesty, young man. I appreciate you laying it out there straight for us. We know who you are. We know what you're going to try to do. We know who you're allied with. Hey, man, you're a declared combatant in the troubles that are coming. You're wearing your uniform. You're on the front lines. We who are about to die salute you. Fair enough. The rest of these jackasses, the rest of these dirty, underhanded, lying, scheming, murderous little shits, I do not have any use for. I mean, I don't have any use for Piker either. I mean, obviously he's an idiot, but at least he's an honest idiot. The Chuck Schumers of the world, the John Ossoffs, welcome to Georgia. The people who will hold back and let this guy go out and plow ground for them, and then come in and try to benefit from what he's doing. The idiots, the useful idiots, what Stalin would have called them, or was that Lenin? One of the two talked about, I think it was Lenin, talked about useful idiots. The useful idiots who think they're using Hassan Piker, same thing happened with Hitler. A bunch of German elites thought that they were using Hitler and thought they could control him, and they were just going to use Hitler to run out the Weimar Republic and seize control, and he was just this useful little moron that they could control. So stinking ridiculous. And what happened? Same thing happens with Lenin. German, oh, hey, we need to undermine the Russian government. We can control this Lenin guy here. Let's sneak him back across the border so that he'll upset the Russian war effort, and then we can. Nope. What happened? We had a century almost of a murderous communist regime. This always happens with these idiots because they're not as smart as they think they are, first off. I mean, and they're actually, these are almost always really, really stupid people. I mean, these are stupid people who think that they're the most brilliant people in the world because they think they should be in charge. They're like, oh, yes, no, we believe in democracy. We believe in, the innate dignity of every person. And we're just going to tell you all what to do because we know what's best. We know what you need. And what you need is Hassan Piker and his horde of rapists coming to destroy your race. But don't worry, we can control them. They won't destroy us. We'll be fine. We'll let them devour you, and then we'll be able to devour them, and then the whole world will just be a bunch of John Ossoffs and Mark Ruffalo's. And what John Ossoff and Mark Ruffalo know in the back of their minds, but aren't honest enough to admit to themselves up front, is that as soon as Hassan Piker's buddies get done with our sisters and daughters, they're coming for Ruffalo and Ossoff. They're the very next ones on the menu. This is just what's so about it is I actually can't get outraged, because it doesn't surprise me, right? I mean, are any of you really surprised about this? We should all have pitchforks in our hands right now. This Piker should be in jail. Bare minimum, he should be in jail. And every time we can connect an action to his words, he should be an accomplice to that crime. Hassan Piker should never see sunshine again in his entire life. I'm sorry. I know we have freedom of speech, but words have meaning and intent. And you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Well, you can't call for rape-fueled genocide in a divided country. This is just every Democrat, especially every Democrat socialist or socialist, Democrats who does not denounce this man should be barred from public life. You just shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to go put gas in your Prius if you do not vocally denounce this man and completely exclude him from everything you have control over. There's just no other way around it. What do we got here? Okay, and this just goes on and on and on, but nothing's going to be worse than this. My favorite flag is Hezbollah. All right. For those of you who don't know, Hezbollah is a murderous terrorist organization that likes to kill civilian Jews. America deserved 9/11. Look, I do not support the United States of America. See, here's why I hate our media so much. This is why I hate our media so much. They'll tell us this one. We've probably all heard this one and say this one. And we all got just outraged enough and thought we had, but the only reason this got reported is so that those of us, so that we wouldn't go hear the rest of it, that we would stop right there and we would say, oh, this Hassan Piker is beyond the pale and we don't have anything to do. And so then we never hear, me and my buddies are going to rape your sisters and your daughters and genocide your race. That's why we know about this quote. America deserved 9/11. We know that quote to keep us from ever finding out about the other quote. It's a distraction. Yeah. I mean, that America deserved 9/11. That sounds like a almost reasonable opinion compared to the other stuff he said. Scary stuff. They say, scary stuff. It's not scary. It's evil. It is absolutely evil. What else we got going on here? I think he told the Jews to go back to Auschwitz. Racist comments about blacks and Asians. Muslim Arabs are a ridiculously racist race, by the way. You hear some of the things they say, and it's just pretty funny. Okay. Piker's close proximity to DSA-aligned candidates combined with anti-American rhetoric and revolutionary Marxism. Is there any other kind? There is not. Marxism is always revolutionary. It is baked into Marxism. There is no such thing as peaceful Marxism that is hostile to America's political and capitalist system. Also axiomatic. Has federal investigators examining the possibility that revolutionary activity is being supported by foreign subversion networks. Well, looking into his work in Cuba. Yeah, this is the guy that went to Cuba and stayed in uh, the luxury hotel and organized with Cuban communists. Uh, Piker is becoming such a liability for America's left that a potential point may have been reached. A potential inflection point reached. Okay, guys, now I know we're leftist and all, but maybe the call for rape-fueled genocide. Now, maybe we're towing up to the line here a little bit. This might be an inflection point. Is this really who we are? Yes, this is who you are. And you know what? This is not the inflection point. They will keep going because all they care about is power, and they think this guy right now can give them power. Now, if they lose the midterms, they'll drop this guy like a hot rock, which is almost just as bad because there'll still be people willing to countenance rape-fueled genocide. They'll just be being dishonest about it because, it's not effective. But the instant, men, hear me out here, the instant these insane asshats decide that rape-fueled genocide is an effective path to power, they will be all about it. Bernie, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Chuck Schumer. It's not just the quote-unquote radicals. It's all these idiots. They will be signing up right there. They will be like getting in line to get their condoms passed out. There'll be two people on either side of the line. One will hand them a condom, the other will hand them a RPG, AK-47. That's who these people are. They want power. They want nothing else, and they will do whatever it takes to get it because they will campaign alongside this Hassan Piker. Won't even blush. Won't even apologize for having done it. They'll just be like, well, he speaks to our constituency. That tells you more about your constituency and more about you than it does anything else. These are evil people who have no place in polite society. And of course, the big sign that a potential inflection point may have been reached. How is that even a question? Is that the University of Washington has canceled a scheduled speaking event. Something that has happened to every mildly conservative. Freaking Ben Shapiro. I mean, if there's anyone in America who's center right, it's Ben Shapiro. This guy believes in globalism and the alleged free markets and all this stuff. If they cancel him all the time, and he's far, far, far to the left of anyone, even remotely right wing. But the leftist has to threaten to rape his way to genocide in order to get canceled from one university, and that's an inflection point that may have been reached. Bullshit. That's utter bullshit. Talk about two-tiered policing. I know we don't have it as bad as the UK yet, but this is two-tiered. If any so-called white person in America had made this statement, I can't even make the statement substitute in different races just in order to demonstrate my point. They'd probably dump my stream and ban me from YouTube, which I should probably be willing to take. But if any one of us substituted in any other race, but you said that exact quote, we would be pilloried. We would lose our jobs. We would get canceled from But Hassan Piker, a potential inflection point may have been reached. That is utter bullshit. Men, if you have an ability to share that particular story, I'm not necessarily asking you to share this live stream, although that would be nice. This story needs to get out there. People need to know what the left is saying things, what the left thinks about America, what the left thinks about women. Dear God, how? I hope Sharon's not watching. Ladies, what the absolute holy hell. The entire leftist movement in the West is completely sustained by women. Well, this guy is out there saying these things, but I'm the mean, scary white man. There's this thing going around about how scary white men are. I've never said that I'm going to rape my way to a genocide. Oh, no, but you did it. When? There's more Native Americans in America right now than there was when Columbus landed. That's possibly true, it's possibly not. You can make the case either way, but worst genocide of all time. You know, uh, I'm sorry. This is just. I know. I'm not even. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I am sorry that you're this stupid. I am. You know, the left likes to talk all the time about why do you vote against your own best interest, your own best interest, your own economic self-interest? Why do you always vote against your own self-interest? This man is threatening to rape you so he can destroy your husbands, your fathers, and your brothers. And you dumbass women flock to support him and his idiot animalistic friends. I, White men might be the only people in the West who are voting for their self-interest at this point. Everyone else is voting for genocide. Everyone else is voting to be raped to death by hordes of invaders. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I feel like Alex Jones up here or something. The current frog's gay. They're raping us in the genocide. But what else am I supposed to think? This guy's got millions of followers. He rubs elbows with all of the most important people for half of the political leaders in America. And he's saying this shit. And it's allegedly college educated white women who are supporting this stuff, who will probably at their next rally have posters up saying that they would prefer to be raped into genocide than date white men. I'm serious. I've seen posters like that. You probably all remember there were some real pretty young white women at a rally. I think it was the Women's March back in 2020 that had a poster, "We'll trade rapists for racists." But girls, the rapists are the racists because they want to rape away the white race. Now what are you gonna do? I mean, talk about some cognitive dissonance there, huh? How stupid. It's not even stupid. I don't even know. I don't have a word to describe the depraved mental state you have to be in to support this kind of stuff, to be okay with it, or to even quietly, or even worse is just quietly ignoring it and acting like it doesn't happen because it would be inconvenient for your priors. That is a moral and intellectual degradation that I cannot understand. And it absolutely should bar you from any sort of, not just him saying it, obviously him saying it, but not condemning it, allowing yourself to be associated with it should bar you from any participation in public life. You shouldn't be able to vote. You shouldn't be able to buy movie tickets. You should not be allowed out of your house until somehow you have been re-educated. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how you redeem yourself from that. But leftist college educated white ladies, y'all are just the worst. I'm just so glad that you are all rejecting us and we're all going to become passport bros. And you know what? We're going to, you all, this is fun. All the college educated white women want to bring in all these brown men to eradicate the white race through breeding. We're just going to go bring in a bunch of brown women to eradicate. Gander, good for the goose, good for the gander, right? I want to do. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I got no use for any of. Just anyway, I'm sorry that was incoherent, but that just puts me over the edge. I mean, I need a palate cleanser. I need something, the filth out of my psyche right now, because I feel like I've been rolling around in a pile of maggot infested manure. Let's check in on the chat here real quick. What did we miss in the chat? Oh, looks like y'all been doing good. Okay. Mark is here. Mark, good to see you, brother. Socialists are nothing but communists. Pop 401k. They want to do away with two of our three branches and pack the SCOTUS. Yes. Yes. This is, and they're saying yes. They want 23 Supreme Court justices, last I heard, do away with the Senate, radically change the presidency, add 3 or 4 states. It's complete. I mean, it would just be rebel. I mean, it wouldn't. What's so ludicrous is that doesn't actually, that doesn't happen. It doesn't work. You just start a revolution that way, and yeah, and then we see who comes out of all the bloodshed. If these DSA insane flaming brick throwing vandals actually accomplished what they did, the country would end. We would collapse into an actual literal hot civil war. Yeah. Ten Tigers, that's right. They tell you what they're going to do. Hitler did. I mean, he wrote Mein Kampf in prison back in the 20s, and he wasn't hiding the ball. Well, that's the Pop 401k says Kamala is now parroting the DSA platform. That's the first good news I've heard all day, because if Kamala's on board, it's probably doomed to failure. That is one of the most incompetent people in American public life. Pop 401k, is it time yet? It is so far past time, it's not even funny. However, suicide is not a strategy. We need a strategy. Barbarous fellow says he always thought the communists knew what they were doing by killing their own people. It's always been about lowering the population. It is. And I'll get religious for just a second, because their master hates humanity. It has always been about lowering the population, because they serve an evil master, and he despises humanity. Hey, Arcan, it's going pretty good, brother. Aiden Ears here. How you doing, sir? Arcan's laughing about the Irish thing. It was a joke. Anti-foot. Yeah, I see anti-foot. But the only thing that just screws my head around is the Democrat Party used to be the party of the people. Yeah. Buck 99 is here. Go James Brown channel. This is why freedom of speech is so great. The traders can't help but yell their plans. We need one law to be enforced for all people, not a different law for every group. 10 Tigers is being nice. Thank you, 10. Are the communist Muslims really Muslims using socialists for their ends, or are they actually commies using the Muslims to gain support? So one of my pet beliefs is that all ideas in the world hinge on one question, and that is the question of original sin. Do you believe in original sin? If so, you fall into one camp. If you don't believe it, you fall in the other. Communists and socialists are humanists. They deny any kind of concept of original sin. Islam also denies a doctrine of original sin. Both camps believe that people are born morally perfect, or at least morally neutral at worst, and are capable of an attainment of like from a religious standpoint, you could say righteousness. From the humanist standpoint, you could say a rational, self-interested morality, or whatever they would say. So they're actually fellow travelers. Like I said, they serve the same master. Mark says the Democrat Party will fracture soon into the far right party and the just left of center party. Been trying to think what the name of the new party will be. This is what the DSA Democrats getting outed is saying what all the Dems think and not wanting to be caught by the public. Yep. Sharon's here. Thank you, Sharon. She thought that was funny. All right. So we got caught up in the chat. So let's go. Let's talk about Dean's question, because Dean's question is a little less disturbing. So we had a. I wonder why this keyboard is so hot. We had a video this weekend about. God damn it. My axe. It's up there. It's a True Temper Kelly Perfect. Here's some examples thereof. Some better examples. I might try to pick one of these up. But these aren't too expensive, especially when you go price a new axe. The True Temper Kelly Perfect. Let's see if we can get a history here of them. All we're going to get is eBay. I should have looked this up. Surely there's going to be a history. Oh, look at that. 3.5 pound, little used. Oh, that's the single bit. That's the felling axe. I've got the double bit, or AKA cruising axe. No, there's not going to be any descriptions of them. All right, well, I won't waste y'all's time. The Kelly Perfect is one of the best. Oh, Les is still working. It's one of the more well thought of axes in the axe community. And I found one at a roadside stand, bought it, and I've been sitting on it for a number of years now because I haven't done anything with it. I got to remember the camera's up here now. I got to try to remember to look y'all in the eyes. And I finally did something with it a few months ago, and I pulled the handle off and refitted it, shaved it down a little bit, got all that awful polyurethane off, and reset the head a little lower down on the handle and re-wedged it. And I hadn't even tried it out yet. I don't know why. I hadn't even taken that. I've been meaning to do a video. I wanted to do the first swings on video, and I've just been busy, and I'm a terrible time manager. I haven't done anything with it. So this weekend I took it out, and we did our little axe video, which I love axe videos because I love axes. I like making videos. So right, axe video. Where's my tea? And my impression was that the hype is real. It was one of the best swinging axes I've ever swung. It was easy to aim. Now, a lot of that is the handle. We forget that a lot of what goes into how an axe handles is the handle, right? Doi, doi, doi. And this one has a pretty interesting handle on it. That I like a lot. So a lot of that swing was that, but that head was so well balanced, and the bevel was just right that it was really throwing nice size chips. I don't think I sharpened it at all, because I think when I looked at it, I realized that the edge was pretty good. So easy to aim, easy to swing. I love that weight. I want to find out exactly what the weight is. The head is stamped with a big 3 and a little 2, which I've questioned if that doesn't mean it's 3 pounds, 2 ounces. But you know what? I need to go back and look at it and see if there isn't a 1 that maybe isn't showing up. So, because I was just looking here a second ago, and I saw a single bit that was 3.5 pounds. I'm betting that means that this one is 3.5 pounds too. Anyway, so I'm praising the axe now. I praised it on the video. If you haven't seen the video, I should go grab it. It's hanging right there. Yeah. Dean, who's been with us for a long time, asked an honest question. He's like, look, I get that there's some, there's always a cool factor with vintage stuff. We all sort of, maybe idolize our ancestors and the people who've gone before a little bit. But is there really any difference between this axe, this True Temper Kelly Perfect, and just like a modern Husky or Council or Vulcan that you could just go down to the big box store and pick up. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're taking a block of steel and we're bashing it into wood, right? I mean, honestly, what can go wrong here? And I think that is a fair question. He also kind of raised the point, look, everything these days is getting better. You know, it is, look, if you've ever driven a classic car, they're way cooler, but if you have to drive in a car long distance, you want a nice modern car. I'm taking my son to the airport in the morning, and like, I don't want to drive my old beat up 1-ton van because it's a great vehicle, lots of character. Something new would just be so much better. And 100%, it's the right question to be asking. And I'm actually probably going to do a video. I'm probably going to go buy a more modern double bit axe and do a side by side. Let me tell you what I have observed with other types of axes. And I think that this is also going to hold true for this axe. Man, the chat has gone silent. Well, now, Mark, hold on a second. Mark is saying buy a 50-year-old file and run it across a brand new file, and that will answer your question. Which way? Are you saying that the 50-year-old file is better, which I would agree with you, because all modern files are made in China. So 10 Tigers. I think I'm going to address this now. So here's why I think that, yes, the vintage axe is going to be substantially better axe than a modern axe. And it's because we still use cars a lot. And we've continuously improved cars. We don't use axes that much anymore. And when we do use axes, we use them in very limited amounts. We don't go out with an axe anymore and work all day like what they used to when they designed this Kelly Perfect. This axe, I'm going to use a word that I'm going to have to, obviously you guys know what this word means, but in this context, it needs some explanation. This axe is perfectly balanced in that it makes, I said perfect, it's not perfect, is very well balanced. JS, I smoke seconds. I just go buy blocks of cheap cigars at the humidor. I buy these in blocks of 20. It's like $40 for the block. It's a $2 cigar. I like them. But one day when I'm rich, my favorite cigar is the Onyx Reserve number 4. I don't even know if you can get them anymore, but they are fantastic. And because we don't use axes like that way anymore, there's no reason to be nuanced and deliberate about the compromises you make. You want an axe, especially a felling axe. We really don't use axes for felling anymore. Most axes today are designed primarily, I don't have any sources on this, this is my observations, for splitting. I mean, honestly, what most axes get used for is, splitting firewood, maybe knocking down some nuisance tree in the yard. You might use it once in its entire lifetime for 20 minutes. That is an axe that was designed for working all day and felling trees. So the head, I think when I get a modern double bit and I show you the heads end to end, you'll see that this is a much thinner profile head. It has a much, you know what, just let me grab the axe. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I should have thought about this. So when we compare a modern double bit to this double bit, I think what we're going to find is that this part on the modern is much, much thicker. We're going to find that this part is not as wide, and that the curve is more extreme. So it's going to be a thicker, heavier axe. Hey, Big Nate, I went on a little bit of a rant. You missed a little bit. So you want an axe, especially when you're felling or bucking, to slice but not stick. So you're trying to achieve two different things here. You're trying to cut, and you're also actually kind of trying to split a little bit, because you're trying to cut and force the fibers apart at the same time. That is a difficult compromise to achieve, and it's one of the reasons why swinging, really, really hard swinging when you're felling cutting a tree probably isn't all that effective, because frequently all you're doing is sticking the axe, and you got to work harder to get it out. The perfect swing, you're gonna cut, and the axe is just going to come away from the wood without hardly any effort. And that is the part where I think that this axe is gonna really shine. The other thing we're probably going to see is that the new axe probably isn't that straight. These were probably forged, and the new axe is almost certainly going to be cast. And that's a big difference, because forging is stronger and lighter, and casting requires a little bit more material. So you're just not going to have as well balanced as an axe, because you're just going to have material there that is just not necessary. So you're probably going to be heavier. I bet when I get that double bit, we're going to find that it's either a 4-pound or a 2.5-pound axe, and not this. Because like 3.5 pounds, that's kind of a counterintuitive weight, right? Like, why was that weight chosen? We don't normally think of in terms of we like prime numbers, not what are numbers that can't be divided by 2? Whatever. So yes, I think that there's probably going to end up being a substantial difference, especially when. Let's look at this again. Let me share this screen again. Okay, so look at these axes. 150 bucks. That ain't cheap. Here's one for 125. That might be bad. There's one for 35. Now I'm not acting like but I bet you when I go, I have to spend 50-60 bucks, and it's going to end up being an axe that isn't as good for all day work. That will end up. Oh dear God, that's $40 shipping. You are going to have $200 in axe by the time you get it, and you have no idea if the handle's any good. So, look at that stamping though. That's a nice axe. Yeah, that handle's not looking great from here. So I guess the question becomes, that handle's done. How much are you going to use the? Oh no, that handle's awful. How much are you going to look at the nail? They got a nail in there. How much are you going to use the axe? And is it important when you use the axe that you can use it for a long time? Do you just enjoy swinging an axe and having it, be an effective, efficient, balanced tool? Oh, you guys can't see that screen. Dadgummit, I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. How do I change the sharing screen? You guys are looking at this screen, and I'm talking about things you can't even see. Let me try again. There we go. Okay, sorry. Everything I was just said now apply to this axe. Gotta be back. That's a pretty axe. Now, like I said, the handle is done. Yeah. There's the nail I was talking about. Okay, so let's look at a modern. Let's do a Vulcan, because that's like the that's like the value brand. It's actually made in the same factory in Mexico that Council Tool is made in these days. So I'm not entirely sure why you would buy Council over Vulcan, but I'm sure there's some reason. Let's say Vulcan double bit axe. What do we get? Oh, look at that. There's one for $35 on eBay with a 3.5. Okay, let's compare it to this. This is Walmart. Oh, it opened in another damn. Dadgummit. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. So yeah, right off the bat, not even looking at this thing much. So that's $65. I don't know what shipping is. Let's see if we can get a better picture of this thing. So this head is just a generic head. There's just looking at it here. Look up here. See this this True Temper. Here's another True Temper. I think this is a bad picture. Why is everything working against me? You see how much more pronounced this? I can't remember what this is called. I'm sorry. Curve is versus how much flatter, like one of the vintage ones is here. This is going to cut more. It's hard to see in this picture, but there's a much steeper, longer bevel here. That's good for splitting. It's not as great for cutting or felling, and this axe is going to stick more. And then, of course, you've got a fiberglass handle. Now, fiberglass handles last longer, no doubt, but they do two things poorly. Uh, they bounce a lot, and that actually leads to fatigue. Well, that's they do one thing poorly. They bounce a lot. They put a lot of vibrations back into your hand, and so it leads to fatigue, and it cuts down on the effectiveness of each swing, because some of the power of that swing is caught up in the vibration. Now, how much does that affect the axe? Will this axe not cut down a tree? Of course, this axe will absolutely cut down a tree. How much longer would it take to cut down a tree with this axe as opposed to this axe? You got to think about it as all day, day in, day out. What's important to you? Is it a 5% difference? I don't know. To me, as an aficionado, that 5% is a big deal. I want the best axe, the real axe, the Excalibur of axes, uh, not the generic good enough axe. I mean, if you're just sticking this damn thing in your garage in case you might ever need one sometime in the future, absolutely go get the Vulcan with the fiberglass handle. It's half the price. You don't have to ever worry about the handle going bad. I don't know what this is, but I want it. I want those two. I want them all. This looks like a pretty good deal. Oh man, why does it always do it in a different shucks? Oh, share this tab and check this out. This is $60. Now, someone's obviously put these on short handles. If I had to guess, no, that would be a bad guess. I don't want to guess. I'm not sure why you put. Maybe they were throwing them. These might have been throwing axes for somebody. You're doing like competitions. That's about the size handle you put on a double bit competition throwing axe. So I bet someone at some point was using these as throwing axes. Bevel on this one right here. Someone hit that with a grinder. Someone should be horsewhipped. This head is ruined. I can't tell on this one from here. Oh, this one looks like it might be okay. I'm not a big fan of this. Maybe it's just the angle. But this one is wrecked. Look at that. Absolutely wrecked. That hurts. So I don't. What do you want? Do you want a tool? Do you want to? This sounds so pretentious to say, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you want a man's tool? What are you wanting? But yeah, honestly, if you're never gonna, if you don't get sheer enjoyment out of felling trees, and you don't fell them hardly ever. I mean, even I probably only use the axe to fell a tree 3 or 4 times a year, just out of sheer, enjoyment. Now, I tell you what I do use them for is I use them for limbing. Once I've dropped a tree, because I heat with firewood, so I do cut trees every year. Once I've dropped a tree, I prefer to limit at least the stuff I'm not going to use for firewood with the axe. I don't know if this would be a good limit axe or not. I've got a really nice smaller axe that has disappeared. I guarantee I don't want to. I'm this close to losing my good expensive limit axe has disappeared on me. I don't know if some child took it without asking and left it outside. I do not want to know if they did, but I do want to know where my axe is. This is a emotionally fraught time for me. I really like that little axe. But so Dean, that was my long-winded way of saying yes. You've asked the exact right question. Is it really worth it to spend $120, $130, $200 for a vintage axe that probably needs a new handle in 4 to 5 years? To me, yes. But I love axes, and I love using axes, and I actually do use axes. Do you just need an axe to sit in the garage in case you ever need one? Well, probably not. It's probably that Vulcan with the fiberglass handle. Save. It costs half as much, and we'll do everything you ever need an axe to do. I will say this: when I have truck axes, which I'm always supposed to have truck axes, I do tend to put inexpensive axes in the truck, just because they're just going to bounce around in there. They're going to get rusty. I don't ever do fiberglass handles, though. I really do like a good solid American hickory handle. So that is my long-winded answer for is the vintage axe worth it? I say yes. Well, check this out. Let's see. Let's start sharing it. Let's do this one. Okay. Let's do. Look at this. Okay. This is the granddaddy, or this is the Mac Daddy. This is the Grand Force Brook double bit working axe. It's obviously European. And they want $505 for it. And actually, looking at it, I wouldn't want it. This is an axe built for style. I do not like this new profile. I have not seen this profile yet. This right here, this is the toe and this is the heel. These points, how high are that? Those will never contact the wood, ever. That is just there for looks. That is extra useless weight. Look at this one. I don't know what y'all can see. Straight across the top almost. There is a curve down on the bottom, but it's nowhere near that. Because this toe and this heel, they should never impact the wood unless you're sticking it. It's possible. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me back up. It's possible that this is designed more for throwing. They're calling it a working axe, though. But with those points, maybe they're thinking it's going to get used, especially with that short handle. I don't know what 89 centimeters comes out to. Europeans are so gay. They want us to buy their axes. Oh, okay. Well, here's in the description. Grand Force Brook double bit axe has been modified for use in axe throwing. Okay. But is based on the North American working axes. Both edges of this double bit axe are identical, and the center of gravity and handle are carefully positioned so that the axe rotates well in flight. The dimensions and design of the axe comply with the rules for axe throwing. I didn't know there were rules for axe throwing. That seems to defeat the purpose of axe throwing. It seems like you throw axes in order to flaunt rules, but maybe I just don't understand axe throwing. This axe can also be used as a working axe in the forest, which is why it is available in a longer handle. The double bit axe is available in two models. The 49-1 weighs 4.2 pounds, and the axe handle and the length of the handle is 28.5 inches. The 49-2 weighs 4.8 pounds, and its length of the handle is 35 inches. So we're talking about a 5-pound axe. Yeah. See, I'm sorry. This is not a good axe. This is not a good working axe. It looks cool. I mean, they're pretty honest saying that it's, you know, for throwing. Who in their right mind is going to pay $505 for an axe optimized for throwing, unless you just throw a lot of axes? I'm back. Let me do that one more time. I don't want to bore you men to do it. Let's see if there's a slightly better. Okay, so here's a classic Force Brooks, or a vintage. Where is it? $165, and look, this toe and this heel, much less pronounced. Let's see if it gives us. See, we got a thin profile head here. That's a little bit of a longer cheek. So this axe is designed to give you a narrower kerf, so you don't have to make quite as wide of a cut, so you don't lose as much wood to the cut. The English, there's some really cool English axes where they're like 2 foot long or something. The axe head is, because they're trying to keep that kerf so small. I don't think that it makes a difference. You probably save yourself a foot of wood, but I live in America in the Southeast, where we have trees by the literal billions, and can never run out of them. And so a foot of wood at the butt of a tree is no big deal to us. When you live in England, I can imagine that would be a much bigger deal, where you have to maximize every Oh, every bit of wood. Especially on the log at the butt end where you're going to have your best straight grain. Another foot of straight grain wood on a log. That's the difference between a 12 foot and a 13. I mean, especially over the course of thousands of trees, you could actually be, as an industry, as an industry that's relying on these axes to cut trees I could see where that would be important. Grand Force Brooks is Swedish. I think they kind of have a lot of trees too. I'm surprised that was a thing for them. But so this is the same company as that throwing axe we were just looking at, and you can see, that modern axe was just designed for different things. It's not a work. It says it's a working axe, but it's not a working axe. It's a throwing axe. And I think you're going to see that same dynamic in any modern axe versus any quality vintage axe. We cannot. Oh, okay. Nope. They're not going to tell us anything about the axe. What a bunch of jackasses. Oh, look, it doesn't even come with the handle. Of course, you don't want that handle. That handle's old. Man, why wouldn't they give you some kind of description? That would be an interesting head. Like, I don't have $165 to spend on interesting heads, but that would be an interesting axe head to have. Let me bore you guys for one more minute, and let's see what the similar items are. Look at this guy. $575 for a roofing hatchet. Dear Lord. Some kind of fun, cool handle. Okay, here's a vintage Collins. Again, you're going to see this head looks a lot like that Kelly Perfect I was showing that I've got here. It's more optimized for actual all-day working axe for felling trees. All right. I don't know what this is. It says it's a Japanese axe, and that looks very Japanese. All right, Dean, if you're still with us, Rob is here. You're looking for a birthday present for me. I think there might be some chapters of Alcoholics Anonymous in Georgia. Hey, Rob. Yeah, I'm looking for birthday presents for both of us, brother. I love me some axes. All right, what's 10 Tigers say? The fact that discussed that older is better, coupled with the debasement of our money. Oh, don't get me started on that, 10 Tigers. I did actually get to go buy some silver this week. And the systematic destruction of family morals and values, so that we are absolutely in the decline of civilization. Trees everywhere. Yep, I'm there. Mark understands. Form follows function. Absolutely, 10 Tigers. So the question becomes now, do you really want to go down the vintage axe rabbit hole? And I would suggest be very, very cautious about going down the vintage axe rabbit hole. That is my only truly desirable vintage axe. I did buy it off of a roadside seller at the exact right time when axes were not popular for a minute, so I got a pretty good deal on it. I think I got that, and actually I got that. This hatchet, which I really like. I can't find anything about it, but it's the hand. It's just got a really nice little handle. Really effective little hatchet. So I got that axe, this hatchet, and I feel like there was a splitting maul and a sledgehammer. I got all four for like one. Well, it was under $200, but I don't remember how far under $200. I can't remember if it was closer to 200 or closer to 100, but it was somewhere in that vicinity. Rob, how you been, brother? So, my other big news is that I have come into a small sum of money, the vast majority of which is going to go into useful things for the house. My grandfather died this past year, and the estate is settling, and I'm getting a small little, well, I mean, not an insignificant chunk, but not life changing money, but still a very nice little hit, and it's going to allow me to do some things around the house here, and I'm going to buy myself a present. And I'm pretty sure I know what present I'm going to buy myself. And since I can do screen sharing here, yeah, Mark says, if I were 20 years younger, I would share your affliction. However, now that I'm 62, I rely on my steel more and more. I get it. Which steel do you have, Mark? Let me see. We are going to just share this one. And let me show you what I think I'm going to buy myself as a present to celebrate the death of my grandfather. No, I'm not celebrating the death of my grandfather. Stop being silly. KP15 products. Come on, where's it at? Oh, there we go. Oh, dear Lord. I'm not sharing the tab again. I'm so sorry. I think I'm going to SBR me an AR9 from KE Arms. Now, I wish they had the green one or the tan one. But I guess all they have is the black. But I think I'm going to SBR it. I've got an upper. They have this Ambi mag release that I don't like, but screw it, who cares? And then I'm going to swap out this buffer tube for a delayed blowback system. I've got an upper from PSA that I was going to put on a Colt style lower, but I think I like this better. And well, I know I like this better. I've got the KP15. You all have seen that. So I'm going to I think I'll SBR this thing, and then and have a kind of a cool little, not a kind of cool, a very cool little truck gun. Not that it'll ever be in the truck, partially because I don't own a truck. But it'll allow me to finish out one of these projects I've got sitting around. And this will be an easy one. Well, ordering this part will be easy. I don't know how hard the SBR portion is going to be. I think that's pretty easy right now. Let's see if they've got that delayed blowback conversion piece. Because we've got, our president in right now, and all things Second Amendment related appear to be easier at the moment. Where is this? It's a really cool little system. No, they're not going to have it here. I'll have to look it up. All right, I don't want to bore you. But what it does is it turns this straight blowback. It turns a straight blowback AI into a delayed blowback. Let's see. AR9 delayed blowback conversion buffer. I think that'll get us to it. Yeah, here it is. Are you? Yes, I'm 18 years of age. Jeez. Now, God, it's expensive. It's almost as much as the lower itself. But it takes that straight blowback, and everything I've heard about it says it really, really, really turns an AR9 into a really smooth shooting, quick follow-up shot platform. The Maxim Defense's roller delayed buffer system transforms your 9mm AR pattern firearm into a roller delayed blowback system, reducing felt recoil and boosting reliability. By allowing gas pressure to stabilize before extraction, it ensures smoother operation while virtually eliminating friction common in standard buffer systems. The RDB system is specifically designed for 9mm AR platforms and is not compatible with other calibers. Not full auto rated. To install the roller delayed blowback system, your 9mm bolt assembly must have an open channel to allow the guide rod to function properly during firing. For most 9mm bolts, meaning you will need to remove the pinned-in central mass. The central mass must be removable, but the bolt carrier group should retain its full length without it to ensure proper function. Okay, so I need to get my upper out and see if I can remove the central mass. So I might not be doing that. Because obviously if I have to buy a whole new bolt, then I'm really starting to get, then I would be spending a sum of money where I would have to start thinking about why wouldn't I buy a dedicated system, you know. Of course, I really like customizing stuff and futzing with it myself. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. Oh my God, you guys haven't, I've been sharing the wrong screen this whole time again. Dear Lord. The technology is beyond me. I don't know why anyone even watches these. Okay. Rob says, hanging in and dealing with life as it comes at me. It's all you can do. Going to send you a couple of pics of some axes I have when I get back home from the communist state of New Mexico. Cool. Holy smokes, Mark. You're slinging around an MS-311 and you're complaining about an axe? That's a lot of freaking saw there, young man. Dear Lord, I just use a 290 and I'm thinking about getting a smaller one for light work. Not too big, not too small. I used to run an 044 years ago, and that was a hell of a saw. Big Nate says, I don't really need an axe because my dad's mountain sheep keep the trees in check. Your dad has mountain sheep? That's awesome. If I was coming into a little bit of money, I would buy a newish zero turn. And Mark is still very intimate with the splitting maul, which is, 3 times as heavy or at least twice as heavy as a good axe. I want mountain sheep. That sounds fun. So yeah, let me see if I can share the one that I was just talking about that I didn't share this. Dadgummit, I'm so sorry. So this is the delayed roller system that I'd like to to drop in that upper, or I'm sorry, drop in that lower. And it turns your blowback AR9 into a delayed blowback, roller delayed blowback, which this is not the same way it works in the MP5, but roller delayed is how MP5s work. So it turns it into sort of a similar operating system as, of course, the iconic 9mm carbine, I guess. Carbines come to mean something else, submachine gun. But this this would be I'm on the wrong page. I wonder if they have a picture of a full gun. I think this would be a carbine, though, really, wouldn't it? Even with I think I've got an 11. The upper I have has an 11-inch barrel on it. And I'm looking at that one. I think it's just different features, though. This is mil spec. And for an 11-inch AR9, a mil spec trigger is gracious plenty. Gracious plenty. But yeah, imagine that with an 11-inch barrel. Put a 33-round Glock mag in there. That's going to be cool as can be. And I wonder if I should get the SBR engraving service. What is that? If I wanted to get, I'm going to SBR it, obviously. Okay, SBR engraving service for receiver placed on the same order. City, state. Yeah. I should probably go ahead and do that so I don't have to Dremel my receiver later. Now this is starting to sound expensive. Maybe I won't do this. Oh, Rob's got the PTR 91. Let's take a look at the PTR 91, Rob. I can get you a couple of mountain sheep, but you'll have to figure out how to pick them up in North Texas. That's kind of fun. I wonder how mountain sheep would do in the Appalachian Hills. Safe, single, revolting. That's fun. That would be fun. Have your selector switch labeled safe, semi, and revolting. All right, what are we sharing? Sharing this one. What was that? A PTR 91? PTR 91. Let's see what kind of hardware Rob is rocking. Can't see. PTR Firearms. Explore American-made roller-delayed rifles, whisper-quiet suppressors, and firepower kits. What the hell is a firepower kit? I want one. It's American-made firepower kit. I need me some American-made firepower. I am. Okay, stop. Leave me alone. Okay, well, there's a PTR 9. Ooh, that looks just like an MP5. I'm assuming that's what it is. Whee! So what do we got going on here? CT, $1,700. Rob, what happened? Go back. No, stop it. Go back. $1,700. Wee doggy. Rob has been selling a lot of moonshine lately. I'm on the wrong page again. Sorry. Rob has been selling a lot of moonshine as of late. He's rocking 2 of these bad boys. Ooh, look at that one with the stock. Looks fantastic. Happy birthday, America. Yep, that's a happy birthday right there. Built on the proven PTR9 CTCL roller delayed platform. Only 47 will be produced. Oh, okay. So the regular ones don't cost this much. Let's find the regular ones. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, the regular ones do cost that much. And even more. Oh, that's the same one. Why they got to be weird? Is that it? Let's look at pistols. Okay, that one's 2100, 2100. Little dots down here mean there's more. 1800. 1800. All right, well, we all need to go to work for Rob because clearly he knows what he's doing. Purchase at your local dealer. That is a good-looking right little. I guess it is just a reproduction of the MP9. I wish they would just show a basic. Like that one. I want to see that one. But all they're showing me is that one. What's a 9B? What's a 9CT? 9KT? This one's only available later this year. SCT, SKT, SLT. Oh, so this is looking a little more classic right here. Now, they're still all $2,000. SRS. Okay. Well, them's some nice looking firearms. I'll let my cigar go out again. I don't know. Rob says I'm an idiot. That's a PTR 9, not a 91. Okay, so let's go back and look for PTR 91. I didn't figure Rob could be selling that much moonshine. Because you'd know he'd be drinking most of it anyway. Man can't stay out of his own stash. Oh, the 308. Okay, that makes a lot. Rob is much more of a 308 man than a MP9 man. MP5? MP5. All right. The PTR 91K. So it's the G3. I think you even said that in your comment, didn't you? Okay. Let's go. Oh, I'm not sharing. Damn it. So used PTR Industries PT91, PTR 91 308 Winchester rifle with a 16-inch barrel with fluted magazines. Oh, fluted with 6 magazines. That's a good looking gun. That is a good looking gun. Let's see if we can find their website and take a look at what we got going. Well, that's back to PTR fire. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Sure, have instead firearms. We want to go to 7.62 by 51. Here we are. Is this your gun, Rob? Rob, that costs just as much as the other one. You are selling that much moonshine. Let's go back and look at the chat. He can see if he told me wrong. It's 308. He's making fun of my tech competence. But Rob, let me scroll down here just a little bit. That's only $100 less than the 9mm one. Okay, Mark is going to try to rescue Rob here. From what I've heard, secondhand, this moonshine can be very profitable. Never mind, he's not rescuing him. He's burying him. Yeah, mine were much less expensive than those. I've had mine for a few years. What, since 1955? I mean, I know inflation's been nuts, but I'm just going to go into the secondhand moonshine business. Oh, no, wait a minute. That probably wouldn't be very profitable. Secondhand moonshine sounds pretty disgusting now that I think about it. That is a cool looking rifle. I no longer have a rifle more powerful than a 5.56. I know. That's gay. I used to have a 30-06, but I traded it to buy my first AR-15. I would I can see where you would be a little bit like a foul, but it's actually a kind of a copy, not a kind of a copy. It's a copy of an H&K G3. Which is a roller delayed, whereas the foul is a, what is the foul? I believe the foul is a short stroke gas piston, if I remember correctly. Now we got to go look. See what you do, Dean. You ask interesting questions, you get boring answers. Stop being interesting so I can stop being boring. Okay. I don't know how that works. Okay. We'll just do the Wikipedia because why not? All right, so here's the FN foul. There definitely is a kind of a general silhouette resemblance between the two weapons. The FAL, Fusil Automatique Léger, the light automatic rifle, is a battle rifle designed in Belgium by Dieudonné Sauvé. I made that up. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Dieudonné Sauvé. Sauvé. The whole freaking continent is gay. Manufactured by FN Herstal and others since 1953. During the Cold War, the FAL was adopted by many countries of NATO, notable exception of the United States. They're still pissy about that. It's one of the most widely used rifles in history, having been used by more than 90 countries. It received the title the right arm of the free world from its adoption by many countries that identified as part of the free world. It is chambered in 7.62 by 51 NATO, although originally designated for the intermediate 280 British, which was an incredibly interesting rifle round. We should go look at that. An experimental rimless bottlenecked intermediate rifle cartridge, it was later designated 7mm Mark 1Z because the British are insane, and has also been alternatively as 280-30, 280 Enfield, 7mm FN short, and 7x43mm. They put that in a really cool bullpup rifle called the EM2, I believe. A license-built version of the FAL was produced and adopted by the UK and throughout the Commonwealth as the L1A1 self-loading rifle. 46 prototype completed, designed to fire the intermediate 7.92 by 33mm Kurtz cartridge, developed and used by forces of Germany during WW2. You know, the one we won. That's all of them, by the way. But with the Sturm, so it was originally designed to fire the same round as the Sturmgewehr. After testing this prototype in 1948, the British Army urged FN to build additional prototypes, including one in bullpup configuration, chambered for their new 280 British caliber intermediate cartridge. After evaluating the single bullpup prototype, FN decided to return instead to their original conventional design for future production. That would be an interesting gun to see on Forgotten Weapons. I am not sharing the touch. Ugh, that means we have to go show the picture again. Validate Dean's observation that, yes, there is sort of a silhouette similarity in the look of that rifle D3. I agree with his observation. Okay, but what I really want to see now is what action is: a short stroke gas piston, closed tilting breech block. Short stroke gas piston, closed tilting breech block. Okay, so when the piston goes backwards, it causes the breech to tilt down and unlock, and the whole thing can move backwards. Then when it comes forward, it forces it up and locks it. It tilts back up into and probably locks against the top of the receiver. That is my best guess. Having watched a lot of weapons, that is probably not a bad guess. Okay. In 1950, the United Kingdom presented the redesigned FN rifle and the 280 British caliber to the United States. First, after this testing was completed, U.S. Army officials suggested that FN should redesign the rifle to fire the U.S. prototype 30 light rifle cartridge. FN decided to hedge their bets with the U.S. and even in 1951, even made a deal that the U.S. could produce FALs royalty-free, given that the U.K. appeared to be favoring their own EM2. Let's take a look at this EM2, because this is a really interesting rifle, especially in 280 British. You've probably seen this rifle on Forgotten Weapons. This was a designed weapon. Look at this. Early 50s, they've got a optical sight. I think it was a 1.5 times, if I remember correctly. So it was a huge, magnification. But this was an intermediate cartridge, this 280, whatever you're going to call it. It was still a little hot. It wasn't like crazy. It wasn't 5.56 yet, but it wasn't as powerful as the 308. And I believe it is a long stroke gas piston, but we'll find out for sure here in a second. But the Brits love their bullpup designs, and this was just a very, very interesting rifle design. EM2, also known as Rifle Number 9 Mark I, or the Jansen rifle, because again the British are insane, is a British assault rifle. Oh, It was briefly adopted by British forces in 1951, but the decision was overturned very shortly thereafter by Winston Churchill's incoming government in an effort to secure NATO standardization. Winston Churchill was one of the most circumspect men of all time who never, ever, ever lost sight of the end goal. The man always kept the bigger picture in sight, no matter what. It was an innovative weapon that, with the compact bullpup layout, built-in carrying handy, and an optical sight. I mean, seriously, is this not kind of a prototype Steyr AUG? I mean, it kind of hits all the same notes that the AUG does. Low power optical sight, carry handle, bullpup design. It was a rifle kind of ahead of its time. The gun was designed to fire one of the first purpose-designed, entirely new intermediate cartridges designed to a 1945 requirement as a result of combat experience in German advances and weapons designed during World War II. The round, the 280 British, was designed to replace the 303 round, which dated to the late century. It was originally black powder, if I remember correctly. The M2 was intended to replace the Lee Enfield, yada, yada. What is... gas-operated flapper locked. Well, I don't know what the hell that means. Flapper locking is a type of locking mechanism used in firearms. Thank you. It involves a pair of flappers on the sides of the bolt that each lock into outward recesses in the receiver as the bolt is in battery. As the bolt is forced backwards after the firing of a cartridge, the flappers recede back into the bolt. Okay, so this is just a piston-operated instead of the bolt tilting, it just has two flappers that pop out. And I'm assuming it's long stroke, but that's just because whatever the hell this is long. Might just be a guide rod. I don't know. But I'm guessing it's going to be long stroke. Okay. One more thing, and then we'll stop being boring. This 280 British round. See why it's so interesting. What's it? So yeah, we've got a 139 grain projectile at 2,200 feet per second. And it's a 7mm. We got 140 grain at 2,500 feet per second. That's just a kind of an interesting little sweet spot. So, I mean, you all know, I don't have to tell you this. Ah, damn it, I did it again. So 5.56 is, the classic green tip M8. 5.5 is 62 grain, about 3,300 feet per second out of I think it's 3,300 feet per second. It might be 3,000 out of a 20-inch barrel. The classic 30-30 is like 124 grain bullet, doing like 2,200 feet per second. 7.62 by 39 is very similar. It's like 124 grain bullet, doing close to that same thing that the 30-30 is doing. I think it's supposed to be a little faster, but in practice, it almost never is. So this is a comparable round to the 30-30 or the 7.62 by 39. However, with better ballistic coefficient because it's a narrower bullet. It's a 7mm, as opposed to 7.62. This bug is driving me nuts. So it's going to have a slightly flatter trajectory, I hate these cheap matches. I think you can start comparing it to some of the 6.8s that they've been experimenting with lately. Like just for fun, let's look at the 6.8 SPC. Well, that's not what I wanted, but we'll go with it. Okay, 6 point yada yada. Arms, U.S. Army marksmanship to address the limitations of the 5.56 by NATO in close quarters combat and short-barreled rifles. It is modified 30 Remington case, which is interesting. Uses a 277-inch diameter bullet, similar to the 270 Winchester, but optimized for military and tactical. Just give me the damn stats. SPC delivers 44% more length barrels at ranges of 100 to 300 meters, making it particularly effective in close quarters and urban combat scenarios. Performs well like many 5.56 that require longer barrels for still not telling me what I want to see. Let's just go back to Wikipedia. Thank you. So it is a 115 grain bullet doing 2,500 feet per second. So it's a slightly lighter bullet at a slightly higher velocity, but with a similar, a slightly narrower. I think it's still a 7mm. I think 6.8 is this. I think it's still a 7mm. So that 280 British was kind of just not kind of. It was a very forward-looking design that people are still sort of toying with today in different iterations. I wonder what's that other 6.8 that everyone was up in arms about for a while. It was the 6.8 SPC and the 6.8. Someone in the chat's going to tell me. No. Okay. Oh, what I missed? Oh, come on. Stop it. Okay. I missed the This is driving me nuts. Why can't I? Let me try this. Okay. Oh, Aid wants a foul so bad. I bet Aid wants a. If you want to see a high price tag, look at the cost of an FN foul. 1187 car has a C93 too. Okay, what did I miss? I missed a bunch of stuff. Okay, here's where we dropped in. Please stop. Actually, I hate this thing so much. Actually, do love. How do I get off of this thing? It won't. Okay, let's try that. Actually, do love me some good moonshine. Oh, we're back to the moonshine. I went way too. Somebody has a C93. C91s used to be cheap, like $499. Wow. Yeah, Rob, the fouls are stupidly expensive. Aid wants a foul so bad, I bet. So does Half Can, as far as that goes. Yes, Half Can does. Actually, if I know Half Can, what he really wants is a AR-18, AR-180B. Mark has had a very good service from his foul over the last 10 years. I do miss his other foul from a couple decades ago. It was a tack driver Need Another Gun is here. Good to see you, sir. Missed the Shorty Folder Jungle Fall back when the COVID started. Kelly at Georgia Gun Store stopped the layaway a while in fear of a coming ban. I was short a few hundred. Next day I cried. It was gone. Oh, yeah, that does hurt. Yeah, they jumped up weighing price. Den Tiger says he was always a fan of the 8mm. I think he meant the 6.8mm. And Dean says, deer around here don't wear chronographs. So 30-30 or SKS works just fine. Yeah, but I mean, you want them dead or you want them very dead? You want them just like country dead or you want them tactically dead? Anyone can just kill a deer, but can you tactically kill a deer? I don't think you can put a price on that, sir. Y'all want to hear? I don't admit very often, at least not among men. I don't know that I've ever shot a 30-30. Can you believe that? Can you believe I even come on here and speak in public with other men having never shot a 30-30? No, he was out. 10 Tigers was always is talking about 8mm. I'm sorry. You're talking about 8mm Mauser. Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just saying 6.8 so much that I assumed you didn't type in the 6. But yeah, 8mm Mauser is it's really just 30-06. I mean, well, it's not. I mean, but it's so similar. Grendel. Thank you, Rob. 6.8 Grendel. Let's look at the 6.8 Grendel real quick. What the hell is 6.8 Western? We're just going straight to Wikipedia. That's 6.5. I didn't want 6.5, you jackanape. Wasn't it 6.8 Grendel? No, I guess it is 6.5 Grendel. I think it's the same diameter bullet, though. Okay, the 6.5 Grendel is an intermediate cartridge jointly designed by British-American armorer Bill Alexander, competitive shooter Arnie Brennan, and Lapua ballistician Yane, what the hell? Yane Pojois Pyrol. Yane Pojois Tapa? I don't know how to say that. I don't even know how to go about. Phonics is doing me no good here. Phonics has failed me, y'all. Hooked on Phonics has unhooked. Jane Pa Joyce Pa 3 dots. As a low recoil, high precision rifle cartridge specifically for the AR-15 platform at medium to long range, 200 to 800 yards. It is an improved variation of the 6.5 PPC. First unveiled in May 2003 at the Blackwater Training Facility in North Carolina. The evil Blackwaters. It remained supersonic at 1,200 yards. Wow. And outshot the 7.6mm NATO with only half the recoil. Since its introduction, it has proven to be a versatile cartridge and is now expanding into other firearm design platforms, including bolt-action rifles and the Kalashnikov system. So it is a 90-grain bullet at 2,800 feet per second. Daddy likey. But it gets all the way up to 130-grain bullet at 2,500 feet per second, which starts putting it. Oh, well, here we got 123 grainer here at 2,650, which start comparing that to 3030 is it's about the same weight of bullet, but like 400 feet per second slower, and with a narrower cross section. But yeah, so this 6.5 Grendel is a little more comparable to the 280 British, which is what we set out to. Oh man, I'm sharing the wrong tab. Hate it when I do that. I wonder if we could find a comparison between 280 British You know what I want to see, man? I want to see if I can share a YouTube screen because I want to do a watch party of one of my favorite John Wayne movies. No, they're not going to compete. Well, this might. I've just got to do what they've already got. They're not going to have it. Let's try something. Who's all still with me? Hold on a second, Buck. I'll see if we can do it. I wonder if YouTube lets you stream YouTube videos on screen sharing. Y'all have seen this one. King of the Hill.
In Greenville, we root for the home team because they're our team. More than 10 local Chase branches and 5.
Oh my gosh, it's working. Y'all hear it? Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. I've got my sound turned off. Is the sound coming through?
Where skies are blue. Oh, you'll be dreaming of the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees till you're up to your knees in love.
So, it sounds good. The only problem is
the mountain peak.
I would probably have to put headphones on because if I had my sound on, I think the sound would come through twice. I wonder if I know the movie good enough to I wonder if I know the movie well enough to be able to oh yeah, I need another gun. If I had crazy expendable money, I'd get another 50 BMG before they ban them.
There are roses on the trellis.
Totally useless till it's not. I think they're wonderful.
The clinging vine is jealous on the fence across the way. There's a great big yellow moon above and a breeze to sing a song.
But in my never-ending quest to make the militia more effective. Right, here we go. Heads up, we've detected video in your stream belonging to... When you turn on content ID matching, YouTube automatically generates claims against other users uploaded. I don't know what this means. I don't care. We've detected video in your stream belonging to. I don't know who it belongs to. What are they gonna do? Take my?
Come on, Curly. Make 7.
I don't know that I even
this
make
month
any
he
revenue
come
off
home
of these
swallowed
movies.
6.
Off
7.
of these,
6. Once was his birthday. They don't
videos.
count. Give him a bucket. Didn't have anything for breakfast but 2 raw eggs and a mug of honey.
I'm about to be out of matches.
Curly.
If I'm not careful.
Yes, boss.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you. Get out of here, Bunyan. Good morning.
Morning.
Let's see if I can just jump ahead
Carlos,
to
what are
some
you
of the
doing
best
up
scenes.
there?
I hope I get it this time, Mr. McClintock. My brothers, they got the big hats already.
I mean, there's a bunch of good scenes in this movie. Oh, this is one.
All right, let them have at it.
You being here saved me a trip.
I don't know what
hats
part of
to
the
the
scene
clothes
this
you
is,
picked
but he
out for my
starts getting
birthday?
mad.
Well,
I am the
instead of this
telegraph
cowboy hat,
operator. But
I'd
does
like to have
anyone
this
ever
one.
say, "Hey,
It's,
you telegraph
all
operator"?
right with
No,
you, sir.
it's always, "Hey,
It's
you
all right with
engine."
me, Dave. Of course, that looks like the kind of a hat a fella'd wear down Main Street to start a fight.
oh, I don't need a city hat for that. All I have to do is walk down the
Pretty
street
funny.
and some wiseacre will call me an Indian, and just like that, the fight's on.
Davy, the letter,
One of the
for
best
you.
fight scenes.
and you are an Indian.
Well, there's just some great
Yes,
scenes.
I
in
know
this
I'm
movie
an Indian.
everywhere.
But I'm
There's
also the
several
fastest
really good
runner
fight
in town.
scenes
I've
in
got
this
a
movie.
college education, and I'm the railroad telegrapher. But does anybody
Oh,
say,
yeah, here we go.
hello, college man, or hello, run?
A little bit of
They're great.
recreational racism. Always fun. Especially when you're genociding white people with sexual violence. In this particular, see, here's white people racism.
Well, you
This is
old
recreational
kidneys
racism.
reprobate, how about it?
Barney,
This is just good,
I
clean.
killed myself.
I'm not
Fun
talking about
racism.
firing you. I'm retiring you. You've been rustling food for us for 30 years. We're going to put you out to pasture.
If,
All
y'all
you'll
ever
have to do is
seen,
give advice. Be one of the family.
The original
I killed
McHale's
myself.
Navy
I may save you
also
the trouble.
plays on some of these tropes.
You kill yourself, I'll cut off your pigtail, and you ain't never gonna get
I
to
think
heaven.
at some point we will do this. We will.
I'll be one of our family.
We'll do a
I
watch
give you my
party of
solemn word.
this movie. It'll
But
be
you
the
call
whole
me
live
family.
stream.
Drink too much.
I won't try to do it all
Get in
tonight
fight.
just because
Yell all
we've
the
already
time.
been on for a while.
Cut off his pigtail.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from
and then I
space?
got to show
With
their
this
ads.
free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right down to your
But
exact.
I
One of
pay
our
for
family. You play that, you
stealing
play
their
that.
movie if I don't show their ads, right?
You play that.
Maureen O'Hara. That's who this female is. Is Maureen O'Hara. This who this woman is.
Trust anyone else in this
God,
house
the
to
world
do
we live in, this room,
anything
everything.
correctly.
She also
Luggage.
played with him
Give him a hand,
in,
Curly.
opposite
Yes, boss.
John Wayne a couple of some of
Are
his
you moving
classic
back
movies.
in?
So,
Yes, but nothing
she
changed
was
except my place of residence.
she played
And I'd
in.
be
She
willing
was
to
in The
put up with
Quiet Man.
savages rather than be
If you've
denied the
never
company
seen
of
The
my
Quiet Man,
daughter.
that is one
And
of
I'm proving that
great
by
movies of
moving
all
in
time.
here.
Mr. McClintock, since it's my first day, would you excuse me if I...
just a really
Go
fun
ahead.
movie. She
Oh,
was
Kevin,
also
this is,
in.
Deb Warren. Joined the
Oh, God.
outfit today.
She was
Please,
in one of
ma'am.
his cavalry movies.
Thank you. Well,
And I
how
think she might have
refreshing.
even been in a few
a
more.
polite young man here.
But
Where did he come from?
He's a
I
farmer.
love her. She's a
A
great actress.
farmer.
She's a lot of fun. She's beautiful.
Welcome home.
What on earth are you doing in
and,
that idiotic-looking outfit?
She just
And
plays
don't you
really
dare
well
call me
opposite
Kate.
John Wayne.
That's my butling suit. I'm butling for the boss.
This whole movie
Now,
is
I'm
just
sorry,
nothing
Captain.
but
That
good
cake kind of slipped out through the
escapist
times.
fun.
I remembered you as being nice.
Recreational
People-
racism, true misogyny, but like of the best kind.
Are you going to stand
little
there
bit
with
of
that
light
stupid
domestic
look on your
violence.
face while the hired
No one
help
gets
insults
shot.
your
I
wife?
don't- the only gunshot in the
He's
whole
just
thing
ignorant.
is
He doesn't
to
know
start
any
a
better
race.
than to tell the truth. And I
There isn't
can't help
raid,
this
but
stupid
then-
look. I started acquiring
Oh, no,
it
there's
as you
gunshots
gained in
at you.
social prominence.
Mrs. McClintock, where do you want I should... What?
Put him in the master
Oh, here we
bedroom.
go.
Fine, Mr. McClintock. I'll get you next time.
Little bit of light debauchery. Everything in this movie is just, you know, what's the old saying? All things in moderation, and moderation in all things.
Look who's here.
What'll it be,
Okay,
Matt?
that might not be moderate.
Same as
That
usual?
might be a little much.
Lady. Evening, GW.
Jake?
Wrong
I don't know.
move,
That
Clyde.
might be just right.
Chess problem. Queen's in danger.
Oh, yeah, he wrecked his chess game. See, this is what happens when you turn 50. I would be so mad at this woman right now. I would be completely incapable of playing
I
chess.
suppose you can do
Of her
that.
bent over the board like that.
Camille?
He
You're on your own.
says, "You're on your own." I can't hear the sound here.
Mr.
I'm trying to remember this off of just sheer memory.
I'm Camille. Camille Reedbottom.
Oh, the
I'm,
stream died.
Learning the game
Damn
of
it.
chess. Thought it would give me something to pass the time. See, I have nothing to do all day long. And I just remembered something.